Minecraft is losing its simplicity. This is a complaint that many people within the Minecraft community have begun to express, that Minecraft is becoming too complicated and that is causing it to lose the simplicity that made it great in the first place. But is there any truth to this? Is Minecraft truly losing its simplicity, and if so, what can be done about it? That is the question that I intend to answer in this video. The answer is yes. Well, sort of at least. I mean, after all, it is undeniable that the new nether biomes, the new cave generation, and many of the other big features that Mojang has been adding to the game have made the game substantially less simple. But while these big changes may make the game feel less familiar, in all honesty, they're kind of inevitable. By their nature, updates are going to make Minecraft less simplistic. If they didn't, they would likely be rather boring, or even worse, redundant. I do not think, however, that this change is necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it actually seems quite necessary in order to make updates actually interesting. There is of course no denying that making big changes to the gameplay will cause Minecraft to not feel the same as it used to, but while some people seem to believe that this is the cause of Minecraft perhaps not feeling as fun as it used to, I do not believe that this is the actual reason for it. While it's easy to look at older versions of Minecraft as times when Minecraft was more fun, I think this can largely be attributed to nostalgia. After all, for a lot of us, some of our most important memories were made in older versions of Minecraft. Building your first base, surviving your first night, mining your first diamonds, and so on. However, these are really only memories that you can make once. After a few times, the novelty begins to wear off, with each becoming just another normal part of the gameplay rather than a memorable experience. But it's not because Minecraft's changing, it's because you are. Evidence of this, in my opinion, is that if you actually go back and play an older version of Minecraft, compared to newer versions of Minecraft, it's honestly not any more fun. If anything, it's kinda boring. Overall, while Minecraft may feel less fun, that has little to do with the fact that Minecraft is becoming more complicated. So, what exactly does this mean then? Minecraft simplicity just doesn't matter? Mojang should just go ahead and add guns and cars and just whatever else they feel like. Well, no, obviously not. Minecraft simplicity absolutely does matter. As a matter of fact, Minecraft simplicity is the reason Minecraft is as great as it is. This doesn't mean, however, that Mojang can't change things. But then, what does it mean? Well, I did my best to define it and come up with a number of criteria that I believe that all new additions should follow in order to preserve the simplicity of Minecraft. So I'm going to go over all of these and determine how well I think that Mojang has followed each of these criteria in the past few updates. Number 1. New features should not inhibit creativity. This one seems fairly obvious, as Minecraft is a game all about building and self-expression. But how can adding new features inhibit creativity, you might be asking? Well, to demonstrate exactly how this is possible, let's talk about furniture. Chairs, tables, desks, none of these exist in Minecraft. And Mojang has confirmed that they, as well as all other furniture items, will never be added to the game on the grounds that it inhibits natural creativity. But wouldn't adding new features increase the amount of potential for creativity? Well, no, it doesn't. Another game that I really enjoy playing is Terraria. But because Terraria is a game much more about fighting and gear progression than it is about building, Terraria simply doesn't need the simplicity of Minecraft. As a result, Terraria absolutely does have furniture items, meaning that, let's say for instance you wanted to depict a chair. Well, lucky for you, there is in fact a chair item in Terraria. If you wanted a chair item in Minecraft, however, well, you're out of luck because it doesn't exist. Or are you? Because you see, while there may not specifically be a chair item in Minecraft, some stairs kind of look like a chair. If you want to decorate it, you can add some signs to the side of them, or some doors, or perhaps a banner on the back. You can also try messing around with different materials to see which one best fits your build. You know what else looks like a chair? Some scaffolding with a trapdoor. Or if you want something that looks like a stool, you can place a trapdoor on top of an end rod. In Minecraft, the limitations are by design. The blocks that you are given are deliberately rudimentary and constrictive to encourage you to think outside the box to solve problems. In other words, it requires you to get creative. This makes the process of building something much more satisfying, because it allows you to take a step back and appreciate the fact that you were the one to come up with the solution to the problem that you were presented. In contrast, if you place down a chair in Terraria, well, I mean, you successfully placed down a chair. Congratulations, I guess. It certainly took much less thought and effort, and as a result is much less satisfying, but it is a chair. And oh sure, Terraria gives you plenty of options for what to make the chair out of, but in all honesty, it doesn't really require any creativity to make a chair out of flesh, just a reason to do so. So yes, adding certain features certainly can inhibit creativity. So how has Mojang been doing with this criteria? Well, in my opinion, they're doing quite well actually. Most of the features that Mojang has been adding have been simple enough to not inhibit creativity, with many new features being blocks with new interesting textures, thus increasing creative potential in building. And while they have added some blocks with more complex models, or blocks that resemble furniture, generally speaking, these items either have a functional use, or are versatile enough that they don't decrease creative potential. So I think it's safe to say that for the most part, our first criteria is one that Mojang follows. Number 2. New features should fit in a fantasy medieval setting. This one, in my opinion, is one that is a whole lot easier to explain. This just so happens to be the setting of Minecraft, which is a part of what sets it apart from other games. And thus it makes sense that in order to preserve the unique feeling of Minecraft, all new features should not feel out of place in that setting. The fact that Minecraft falls into this genre is also a part of what makes Minecraft simple, because it prevents the addition of overly overly complicated machinery and technology. And while it may seem like Redstone is an exception to this, I think that it is implemented in such a way that it doesn't feel too modern. This is a criteria that I think that Mojang has certainly not struggled with. All of the features that Mojang has added in recent updates have fit perfectly into this atmosphere, and even features such as wireless redstone have been implemented in ways that don't feel too modern. Number 3. New features should add to the overall gameplay experience. In order for Minecraft gameplay to not feel too convoluted, each item that is added should fit cleanly into the rest of the gameplay experience. This means that not only should every item have a reason for existing, but also be integrated smoothly into the rest of the gameplay. This doesn't necessarily mean that every item has to be useful to everybody. For instance, some items such as redstone components or certain building blocks may only appeal to a certain subset of the Minecraft community. But this isn't a problem because Minecraft is a game that is designed to be for multiple different kinds of people. This also doesn't necessarily mean that every item has to be very useful to the player. For instance, while rotten flesh may not typically be very useful, it still fits into the game as emergency food or dog food. Nonetheless, this is perhaps the one criteria that in my opinion Mojang has struggled with. While it is clear that Mojang does put effort into fitting features into the game, as I pointed out in my last video, the game is beginning to feel like it's becoming bloated with unnecessary or poorly implemented features. Having certain items such as rotten flesh or seeds that aren't incredibly versatile isn't in itself a problem, but having an overabundance of items with missed potential or items that aren't even worth getting in the first place can cause the game to feel unnecessarily convoluted. The example that I brought up in my last video was the turtle shell, an item that in concept is an interesting idea, but in practice just isn't useful. By the time you're willing to go through the effort of collecting the scutes necessary to craft the helmet, it's honestly probably easier and much more worth it to just catch pufferfish and brew water-breathing potions. Another example of this is the minecart system, a system that takes a long time and a lot of resources to set up, and is made almost completely useless by the time you get an elytra. I want to reiterate that Mojang does put effort into fitting features into the game smoothly, and thus this isn't a problem for many of Minecraft's items. That being said, I still think that it is a problem that is big enough that Mojang should direct more attention to fixing it. That is the one way I can think of that Minecraft may be losing its simplicity. But if you have any ideas for criteria that Mojang ought to follow, I'd be quite interested to hear them in the comments below. I hope you found this video essay interesting, and as always, thanks for watching.